So, speaking of wine, another way, because it is like a wine, you can drink them out of wine glasses. We have a couple of interesting ones here that we like to experiment with, some crazy shapes, but a wine glass is a wine glass. If you are in a hotel bar in Japan, or you're in sort of a more upscale restaurant, you will be served sake in a wine glass generally.
It can happen. It happens actually pretty often.
That's good news. If you're new to sake, you probably have a wine glass at home, or can very easily find one wherever you are, and that is a great way to drink sake, is out of a wine glass.
Right. Since sake has a similar flavor profile where you're looking for aroma and smoothness to wine, a wine glass is perfect. And you probably, like Michelle said, you probably have one at home. Use it for your sake. It's going to be great. You're going to have a wonderful experience, particularly with your Junmai ginjos and also ginjos. Anything with like a lot of aromatic qualities to it.
So, as you can see, these are very specially shaped. You don't need that. But we have been learning lately that the shape of your glass can contribute to the flavor. And if you've seen our last video about our Kimoto glasses, and you might recognize this one from the video, the shape of the glass does. Definitely affects the flavor of the sake. So here's a very special glass that you could drink sake out of if you are super advanced mode. But just this tall, glass where you can sip on it, kind of like you see us doing now.
Right.
Is good for sake. And this one is specialized with a flavor and...
Yeah, this one,
we already did. We did a very special episode just on this glass.
Yeah, we did, on these glasses, and we found that this one particularly was really great for funneling the scent of the sake into your nose where it belongs. And it was wonderful. You should watch that video if you're curious and want more information.
Yeah. So, as you can see, we've been drinking our sake out of these little glasses, which if you go to a restaurant and you order a carafe of sake, this is a carafe. It's less than a bottle.
And I think it's about like 300 milliliters.
So
usually goes in one of these. So about a little under half a bottle will usually go in here.
So if you go out to dinner with a couple of friends, like the two of us, we could split a carafe with a nice dinner. 3 friends, 4 friends, you might want to do a carafe and then a glass, but this is a great way to order without having to get a whole bottle. This one is very special. It has this blue part in here, it holds ice, and then the sake stays cold while you drink it.
Yep.
Which is nice.
That's
and
pretty
little
great.
Matching glasses. Like these smaller glasses that we have, which are a few drinks worth, there are even smaller single glasses, which are called ochoko, which are generally used for tasting. This one in particular came from a tasting event where we would go from booth to booth, and they would give us just a small sample of their sake that we could smell and taste. If you had a carafe, you could have something like this, but I think generally you're going to have a little bit bigger. This is really just kind of one little drink, would you say?
Usually. And ochoko are... You'll see a lot of promotional ochoko where very much like they'll have a brewery label on the front. You'll know the ochoko from their telltale blue circles on the inside. The idea is that it's white and blue simply so that you can really understand the color of the sake by looking in. You can see, if the sake is a little more yellow, it'll change the blue tone, and it'll go a little more green, and you'll be able to judge better kind of what color the sake is. But they do have a lot of like fun, also weird, interesting ochoko. This one's actually a ochoko from the anime Neon Genesis Evangelion, which is cute. And also we have this little tiny, like, micro ochoko. These little ceramic, tiny little amount of sake goes in here.
We received that at a tasting event as well.
Yeah, this was also from a tasting event, very small sips. They don't want you to get too messed up at a tasting event. I don't blame them.
And then you get to take them home as collectibles, like film cups.
Especially if you're like us and you take home all of them as collectibles. And then what else? What's that box all about?
So we have here we have another small one in this case, and a box. So this can be seen either with a glass inside. It could be something like this. It could be a glass more this size, which is a little bit taller, and the box. And if you go to Japanese restaurants, it doesn't really have to be very high end. We have a ramen restaurant here in New York called Hide-chan that will serve you sake in the box. Theirs is not cedar, theirs is plastic, but it's the same idea. They will fill your glass and then overflow it into the box. Sometimes it's just a tiny bit. Sometimes it's a lot. We once went to it was Donjaka, right?
It was definitely Donjaka in Shinjuku.
Across from the train station.
Yeah. Woo. Hi.
It's fine.
It's okay.
Should we start over?
No, I think it's fine. Damn, now we have to start. I love that. That was good.
Oh.
All right.
No, we can keep it.
Well, now we have to.
No. Wait, should we start over? And you're like, no, it's fine. And then we'll just cut to us starting over, but keep it.
Oh, okay. I like that idea. All right. So, yeah, Donjaka Donjaka is a Shinjuku chain, kind of. But we can only really speak personally for their Nishi Shinjuku location. And it's located kind of like, if you're in Nishi Shinjuku, if you go to the first kitchen, and if you are in Nishi Shinjuku, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. It is basically underneath the first kitchen. And
it seems like the idea of Donjaka is to provide people with a place to wait for the trains to start back up again.
Mm-hmm. That's a thing there.
Because it's across the street from the train station, and it's open until what, like 5 in the morning?
4:30, I think. But yeah, it's close enough.
Yeah, so it's basically, so you'll get a lot of like drunk salarymen there, like 3 in the morning, who are eating and drinking while they wait for their trains to start back up. The Donjaka, that Donjaka, we love. We go there every year, multiple times every year, because we love it so much. Mm-hmm. The owner is so knowledgeable. The food is good. The menu is completely in Japanese, and all of the signs on the wall are completely in Japanese. But just point to something and it's probably going to be delicious. Because it's really good food.
If you are in a pinch, just ask for the pizza.
Pizza, there's cheesy bread, french fries, corn. Oh, seriously.
The corn's also really good.
This is like a late night wait for the train place, and it is one of our favorite places. It is so good, and it is so authentic feeling, and there's just,
It's really good. Also, the manager at this particular location, the reason that we specified this location is that the manager there takes a lot of pride in the sake that he gets. And every time we go, he always has some very interesting stuff. He gets really rare, interesting sake that you normally see in higher end locations. You know,
if you see it at all.
If you see it at all. And this place we get to go and just relax in this like underground bar and get served some really great stuff at in a very unassuming place. It's like very loud and bright.
Don't go to Donjaka if you want to learn about sake that you can ever have again. Because what the manager at this Donjaka likes to do is scour the earth for the greatest sake that is pressed with the tears of angels as it squeezes out the lees. And it makes one golden bottle that when you open it is, and he pours it for you, and it's the greatest thing you've ever had in your life. And then you're like, oh, where can I order this? What is this called? Where do I get it? And he's like, too bad. This is literally the only bottle that was ever made.
Well, all right. So that's a little hyperbole on a story that actually occurred. Because I experienced my favorite sake that I've ever had there. I had it anywhere, actually. And when I asked him if I could obtain a bottle, he said that they only had produced 50 of them. And that made me very sad.
That year. There were 50.
Now, I had gone back other years, and I have found that sake, but not the same particular version of it. So I've found other stuff from that brewery, but not that particular.
It wasn't the same rice type. It wasn't the same.
I found the same rice type, but I didn't find the same actual label. I'm going to keep my quest going, and one day I will find it, and I will be a happy man when I do.
But the reason that we're talking about Donjaka
and going off on tangents
is because they also use the masu, which is very, very traditional in Japan. You don't have to go somewhere nice to get a masu. So a masu is filled in your glass. They will overflow it sometimes a little bit. In New York, it's usually just a little bit. They will fill it halfway. They will fill it to the top. Or at Donjaka, they will fill, and he will pour a little bit on the table as well.
Now that doesn't always happen. It happens occasionally. I don't want to promise people that if you go to Donjaka, they pour sake on the table. It's not exactly what goes on there, but it has happened to us on more than one occasion.
So your masu,
Yeah.
you're filling it.
And it's a cup runneth over kind of thing.
So yeah, it's your cup runneth over. It's generosity. It's just a very Japanese thing, I guess.
It's nice.
So,
I like it.
Insider tip. This is a secret within the episode. Tip.
Uh-huh.
When you get this, you're gonna have liquid in here, liquid in here. What you can do is either pick up both, and then you can drink out because it's gonna drip because it's covered in sake in your glass.
Mm-hmm.
Drink it this way, and then put it back down. You can pick up your glass, wipe it off on the box, and then drink it. And you're gonna usually finish your glass or get it most of the way finished. At which point you will pour the remainder of the sake into your glass and then put it back in. So that's what you would do in New York, in Japan. That's what we always
There's an
do.
alternative way to deal with that other sake, though.
Which is also another way that you would see it with no glass. You might sometimes just get
You might just get the masu.
And
Very rare.
You are very familiar with.
So I
taking
like
a
this.
masu.
So there's a kind of sake called taru sake, and I don't know if we're ever going to get to a full episode on that because it's very niche. But taru sake is aged in cedar, and as a result, it tends to taste really good in a wooden masu. So if you were to pour it in there, and you bring it to your lips like this, the scent of the sake really blends well with the scent of the wood, and it really just tastes really interesting. It's a unique experience. Maybe we'll mix a little bit of that into an episode one day.